Tonight on Connecticut's news station, students spread awareness of bullying and racism on social media, documenting what's happening at a local high school. And now they've caught the attention of the mayor. We'll hear their story exclusively on Fox 61.
Plus, the Brian North trial continues, and now we're hearing what the medical examiner has to say about Mubarak Suleiman's death.
And a new bill looks to honor police canines who were injured or killed in the line of duty. We'll look at what Bracco's bill will lay out for whoever's responsible.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Now to a Fox 61 exclusive, where students at Cromwell High School say they've been experiencing intense and persistent bullying and racism.
And tonight, two students are sharing their powerful story, only with Fox 61's Matt Karen, to shine a light on what they say is a crisis in the community. Matt?
I didn't experience racism until I came to Cromwell, truly.
It all started with this social media post.
To make sure that it never happens again to anyone else.
Feeling isolated and alone, twin sisters Anya and Asaya Garrett took to the internet to shout their experience with racism and bullying at Cromwell High School to anyone who would listen. Within minutes, they knew they weren't alone.
That amplifies the message, and I just want to say thank you.
Their message, courageous, but heartbreaking. The twins left the Hartford school system due to bullying, only to encounter racism in Cromwell.
When I came here, it was a culture shock.
It started on the first day of school.
I'll never forget it. He had dropped his jacket on the playground because it was cold, and I had picked it up. And when I tried to hand it back to him, he screamed, "Ah, a Black person."
The twins told Fox 61 stories about both verbal and physical harassment, getting spit on, hit, called Sharpie pens, blatant face-to-face racism that persisted even once they went home.
We got messages from unknown numbers that would send us like KKK GIFs.
Racism that continued even in the wake of the killing of George Floyd.
I had a poster which only said, like, remember George Floyd, remember the people that have passed away from police brutality. And when I had gone on the bus, a whole bunch of high schoolers, they didn't like it. So they ended up throwing food at me and my sibling. They threw pencils at us. They told some other kid, hit the darkest one. And when we started getting off the bus, kids were threatening to kill my family. They said, "I hope you die." They said, "I hope your mom dies a terrible death."
Despite speaking up, Anya and Asaya told Fox 61 they felt manipulated by school administrators, who they say either blamed them or didn't act.
I went home that day with rage. I had to calm myself down, and I had to be rational. Because being angry as a Black person is a very dangerous experience.
Their post caught the attention of Cromwell's mayor.
We cannot allow an environment to continue where students feel isolated, alone, and prejudiced against. And if these two students are feeling this way, that means there's plenty of other students that are being silenced.
He's working with the school district to make changes.
One of the things that we've explored is getting additional funding from the state for diversity, equity, and inclusion projects. Try to have some courageous conversations where we address what systemic racism is and how we can try to break the cycle.
That was Matt Karen reporting. The mayor told Fox 61 he's been in contact with the superintendent on this issue and will be following up with them and with state lawmakers who also picked up on the post. Anaya and Asaya say they want to leave other students who may be experiencing bullying or racism with a message. And that message is that they are not alone and they are powerful, encouraging them to stand up and speak out. Well, time for a check of the forecast. Mostly dry today.
And mostly dry tomorrow, but that's not all. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach, it's going to be bright tomorrow.
And we're not going to know what to do with ourselves when we wake up and we see that bright orb in the sky. We've got sunshine for the day tomorrow and finally a dry day from start to finish. Enjoy it because that's not going to last. We do have more rain heading this way for the weekend, mostly Saturday night. Here's a look at some of those winds, which are pumping in that drier air from the north with gusts up between 15 to about 25 miles per hour. There were a couple leftover sprinkles here in eastern Connecticut. It looks like those have moved out of here, and we are looking forward to this. A whole lot of nothing in the sky as we head through the day tomorrow, at least before the next storm system moves in. For the news at 11, temperatures are in the lower 40s, and as we head towards daybreak, we start in the 30s. Tomorrow, bright sunshine from start to finish. We begin in the 30s when you wake up. High temperatures will climb into the mid-50s as we head through the afternoon, and we'll see increasing clouds for tomorrow night, and that will be as we head into the weekend, which starts dry but finishes wet on Saturday with some heavier downpours possible for Saturday night. We'll talk about what that means for the Hartford St. Patrick's Day Parade, your full weekend forecast coming up.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Rachel. A car from Massachusetts the police say was used in a deadly shooting has been found in Hartford. A woman and her 11-year-old daughter were killed in the shooting in Worcester Monday. Police arrested a man Tuesday, but they're still searching for another suspect. It was a 27-year-old man.
Police are looking for the person who shot a man in Bristol, sending him to the hospital. The man was shot several times just before 7 last night in the area of East Road and Union Street. He was taken to the hospital and went into surgery right away. Police believe this was a targeted act, and anyone with any information should call police. And Southington police are asking for the public's help finding 2 larceny suspects. Police sharing these photos of the man and woman. Police say they stole about $2,100 worth of merchandise from the Bob store on Queen Street on Friday. Call Southington police if you recognize this pair.
The state called its last witnesses to the stand in the trial of Trooper Brian North. Then they rested its case.
North has been charged with manslaughter in connection to the shooting death of 19-year-old Mubarak Suleiman.
Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has the latest from Milford Superior Court.
Just before the state rested its case, we heard from higher-ranked troopers who responded to the scene the night Mubarak Suleiman was killed, and the inspector general pressing them on what they did and didn't do moments before the shooting. Prosecutors taking jurors back to Campbell Ave in West Haven on January 15th, 2020. Get out of the car! That's where 19-year-old Mubarak Suleiman ended up, crashing the stolen car he was in after leading troopers on a high-speed chase.
I holstered my weapon to make my way around to the driver's side to assist Trooper North.
Trooper First Class Ross Dolling was third on scene. Within seconds, one trooper fired his taser with no effect. Dolling says Suleiman then reached for his knife, and Trooper Brian North shot Suleiman through the driver's side window.
At that time, was there a plan as to how to go forward with this incident?
A plan? No. I mean, the plan was to stop the threat.
Inspector General Robert Devlin emphasizing there was nobody in charge.
I'm talking about when he's sitting in the car, as you said, unresponsive, car surrounded by police cars, armed police officers around it, windows up, doors locked, right there, right there. Are you saying the state police regulations would authorize lethal force against him in that situation?
No, I'm not.
The defense arguing this all happened within seconds, with troopers thinking they're dealing with a felony stop after a carjacking, which later turned out to be bad intel from dispatchers.
There was no way for anyone to call a timeout and let's regroup and see what we can do. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
In the afternoon, jurors heard from a medical examiner who performed Suleiman's autopsy.
The cause of death was gunshot wounds of torso and extremities.
And how about the manner of death?
The manner of death was homicide.
Jacqueline Nunez says Suleiman suffered from a total of 9 gunshot wounds, with 3 of the bullets lodging into his body, most of them alone, Nunez says could have been fatal.
In your professional opinion, would that wound by itself cause death?
Yes, it would have.
Now, Nunes also went over the toxicology report where she detected marijuana in Suleiman's body. Now, right after she stepped off the stand, the state rested its case. Now, if the defense has any witnesses to call, we will hear from them tomorrow. We are in Milford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
At tonight's State of the Union address, President Joe Biden is expected to announce a plan for the U.S. military to establish a port on the Gaza coast to increase the flow of aid. Coming up, Fox 61's Bridget Biorlo will have a preview of the president's State of the Union address. That's coming up at 6:30. She'll have more on who's been invited by Connecticut representatives as guests to the event.
Still to come here on the news at 6, we're breaking down a new bill that looks to help police departments when a canine is injured or killed in the line of duty.
Plus, in a historic move, Sweden joins NATO. We'll take a look at how officials are reacting tonight.